Good day, Generals, and welcome to another of my YouTube videos about Call of War strategy. Now, this video isn't going to be like the previous three that I've done. This is not a unit strategy video or Call of War breakdown. Instead, this is a video about my actual gameplay and just some observations that I've made. So this is the Battle Arena. This is a fairly new game. As you can see, I haven't had much success so far, and I have an imposing enemy here and an imposing enemy here. It's a very complicated landscape at the moment. I'm not going to get into the diplomacy, but what I would like to talk about today is the diplomatic relationship between my country, Angola for this round, and South Africa. And I have some important lessons that I've learned. Okay, first off, me and South Africa have been in a alliance for most of the game, in fact. We kind of came to an agreement that he wouldn't attack me, I wouldn't attack him, and we'd split up Ethiopia between us, and I'd let him pass through my land freely to engage enemies. However, I noticed soon on that South Africa is not an advanced player, and he's made a few crucial game errors. But, you know, we all learn. I made many errors throughout this round included. But despite this alliance, I started seeing some strange activity. He started by moving a light tank brigade into my area here. And I thought this was a bit strange, but I didn't think much of it. And he came to me with some diplomatic things saying that, you know, I have Egypt up here moving down, scary Egypt, that I should, you know, he's going to send some troops to come help me. So this was the first unit that came in, but I thought that a bit strange because that's all the way down south, that's not going to help me at all. So what I did was I dropped some spies in. I actually had 4 spies working as capital. Now I only have 3, I've spread them out. But on day 8, I got some very crucial information, and this shows the importance of making sure you spy on your friends. Now, I cannot stress this enough. Robert Greene spoke about this in 2 of his books, in fact, 48 Laws of Power and 33 Strategies of War. Okay, your enemies are predictable, but your friends are not. Even though I've shared a map with them, make sure that you are spying. I believe Robert Greene said, present yourself as a friend, work as a spy. And that's good advice, because look what I found out here. Him and Poe Master 2, which is Egypt, are actually conspiring against me. Don't kill him yet. And then he said, okay. Well, he has a stack of 17 on the Ethiopian border. Let me wait a day or 2, but I definitely will. And I knew they were talking about me because a few moments ago, I did in fact have a stack of 17 exactly on my Ethiopian border. And it has been a day. So, what happened overnight? Well, he started moving in anti-tank, anti-air, and a few tanks into my area. So, basically, I've seen this as a declaration of war, though he hasn't officially done it. Look, he's moving so many troops into my land. It is completely obvious that he is planning to try to take me out. So he's moving directly to all of my key zones. So what am I going to do about it? Well, I need to think about this strategically. He has made a terrible mistake in revealing his hand, his entire hand. You know, he hasn't made it subtle at all. He hasn't even made a proper excuse as to why he's sending these men in. I outgun him dramatically. So now I need to come up with a plan of what to do. As you can see, I've moved a lot of my forces back from up here to defend my main provinces. So I want to show you a few excerpts from Robert Greene's 33 Strategies of War that I'm just going to paraphrase here and how they apply to this situation. So first off, moving first, initiating the attack will often put you at a disadvantage. You're exposing your strategy and limiting your options. Discover the power of holding back and letting the other side move first, giving you flexibility to counterattack from any angle. So I have actually already done that. So now it's time for me to move. So he has made the first move. He has sent his troops into my border, and now he is set on a path. He must engage my rather large army here. There's no way around it. And at this moment, I'm sending troops back. But what I'm going to do is, I can see clearly he has left his flanks wide open. You can see by making the first move to send troops into my core, he has exposed his flanks, and I know exactly what he is doing. So what am I going to do about it? Well, I'm going to exploit every opportunity I get. I'm sending all of my motorized infantry, and we are going to seize these provinces. As soon as he declares war, it will be death to him as well. I'm also, once this is done, taking that, which was going to take 3 hours, so I'm actually probably going to shorten that time. There we go. Let's send in our tanks as well to support our infantry. And that should allow us to strike his flank, which he has left wide open. I don't know why he has done this. He clearly thinks I'm stupid. And this is another point that has been brought out in Sun Tzu, Robert Greene, multiple other books. Play an idiot to catch an idiot. I'm acting like I have no idea what he's doing. If I went to him now and messaged him and said, "Bro, you're moving all these troops into my land. Are you trying to attack me?" Well, what's he going to do? He's going to declare war immediately, and I'm not going to have time to maneuver. So instead, I'm waiting. I'm maneuvering my troops. I've already brought heaps in to defend. I've tank destroyers for his tanks. I have mechanized infantry. I'm trying to bring in some more troops, in fact. And I've moved my paratroopers here out of harm's way so that I can drop them straight into his capital as soon as I need to. So play an idiot to catch an idiot and wait for the opportune time. See, I could have declared war on him immediately. I could have messaged him and said, "What are you doing?" That would all reveal my hand. He's revealing his hand. I'm not going to do the same. So what's the second principle? Here, retreat in the face of a strong enemy is a sign not of weakness, but of strength. By resisting the temptation to respond to an aggressor, you buy yourself valuable time. Time to recover, to think, to gain perspective. Sometimes you can accomplish most by doing nothing. What am I going to do? I am not going to waste time trying to defend the provinces in Ethiopia I've just gained, nor the provinces in Rhodesia. He has 7 units here, and he has 8 here. His strongest force is all hauled up in the Far East. But I can use it to my advantage. He is sending his weakest force in here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to retreat from here. And there is no shame in that, because I retreat from here, he has to capture all of this before he has time to come here. And what am I going to do in that time? Well, I have units up here, all ready to move in, and by then I'll have a whole other heap of infantry and tanks researched and produced. And in that time, I will have already struck deep into his core. So sometimes retreat is necessary. And that's what I'm going to do from Ethiopia and Rhodesia, to defend my core and strike him. Because as soon as he's defeated here, this part isn't going to last very long, is it? Okay, third principle. The best way to advance your cause with the minimum of effort and bloodshed is to create a constantly shifting network of alliances, getting others to compensate for your deficiencies. Do your dirty work, fight your wars. At the same time, you must work to sow dissension in the alliances of others, weakening your enemies by isolating them. Now, this is something I've already pulled off. Egypt, Ethiopia, Nigeria, and Algeria were all in a strong coalition. But as soon as I struck Nigeria, instead of trying to strike Egypt, Algeria, and Ethiopia all at the same time, I went to Egypt and I said, hey, I'm stronger than Nigeria and Ethiopia combined. I'm a better ally for you. Let me take their land and I will protect you. I'll give you something. And he liked that idea. So what he did was he cut off Ethiopia and Nigeria, and he himself has invaded Ethiopia and basically made my work a whole lot easier. Okay, I won't get those provinces there, but I'm quite happy about that, because that means I can focus my troops on the defense against South Africa. And I don't need to worry about him too much. Now, do not become... See, he's allowed right of way. But he is also conspiring with South Africa to attack me, but he will not attack me head on. He's going to supply South Africa to try to weaken me, because he sees me as a threat. Trust me, I have no delusions that he is my friend. There are no friends in the political game. But he's not going to attack me head on yet. And what I've done is I've told him I'm going to take care of Gabon, but I'm leaving him around as an ally, so to say, so that he can fight him and they can weaken each other. And while both of them are still semi-around, Gabon, Equatorial Gabon, is kind of a bit weak, but he still exists. And while that he still exists, Egypt cannot attack me because he will be opening up a two-front war. In fact, he'll be opening up not only this border here, this border here, this border here, this border here. That is probably 1/3 of his border, if not half, will be at war. He cannot afford that. That would be 3 enemies against him, Ethiopia, me, and Gabon. So while he's around, they are fighting each other. So I'm happy with that, even though, they are both supposedly my allies. So play a double agent. This is something else that also came out in Sun Tzu and other books. Play a double agent, okay? It's what you got to do. Okay, so back to South Africa. My north border is fine. So what am I going to do? I'm going to retreat from Ethiopia and Rhodesia back to my core to defend it against these rather pitiful attacks. As long as I have time to move my troops into position, I'll be fine. But that's the thing, I'm buying time. Okay, I wasn't prepared for this attack. In fact, most of my troops were in Ethiopia and Nigeria. So I had to buy time by doing nothing. And sometimes that's just what you gotta do. So now we are going to strike South Africa where they are weak. We're going to defend our core against his smaller force. And we're going to leave his bigger force to take out all these provinces and waste their time. Because I can get them back. You can get provinces back. You cannot get time back. Okay? That is a key principle. Time is worth more than land. And if this buys me time to mount a proper defense and a counterattack to get to his capital and basically cripple him indefinitely, well, then that's just what I got to do. So, the takeaway from this, spy on your friends. Do not be lulled into thinking they are your friends, because they're not. They're just allies, and alliances are forever shifting. So make sure you keep an eye on them. Also, buy time. Do not react immediately. Let him show his entire hand. If you look at this map, most of his units, except for 3 artillery, are in my land. I know exactly where they are. Even once I declare war, I will know exactly where he is. But he will not know where I am once war is declared. So I will have the advantage. Strike him in the flanks where they least expect it, once he exposes his moves. Retreat. There's no shame in retreating to buy yourself time. You can get provinces back, you cannot get time back. And what was the last one? Yeah. Constantly shifting alliances. Do not get stuck with a coalition or an alliance. Do not think you owe them anything. They do not think they owe you anything. South Africa had no qualms about attacking me despite the fact I defended him time and time again, even sold him units. He had no qualms, so do not have qualms yourself. I have backstabbed Gabon, and he understands that I'm keeping him around simply to fight Egypt so that I don't have any worries there. It's just the way the game works. So hopefully from this video you've taken a few things away. Very interesting gameplay. I'll be sure to update you all. Perhaps I will be defeated. Perhaps Egypt will turn around and attack me as soon as South Africa does. You never know. But hopefully, thanks to a few basic principles of political and war strategies, I'll be able to make it through this attack and actually end up with these provinces as mine. So I'll be sure to keep you updated. Until then, I'll see you guys all later.